and his big old mug is on the back of it. And as my dad described himself, 70s porno stash, 80s feathered hair, timeless shit-eating grin. What do you got, kid? Okay, thank you. Apparently he likes that one.
Yes.
All right, so this is the back of the book. Farewell, forever friend. Because of the years upon us, years of the miles between us, I doubt that we'll see each other more. I do not believe in tomorrow, so I suspect that this is it. We've been so good for one another. We've listened, learned, and heard each other. We've laughed and wept and loved, and when needed, we'll put our shoulders to the wheel together. And I'm not the least chagrined to say, we partied well together. And now another party. Shall we plan to meet again? I think not. The odds are too much against it, and if I'm wrong, there's happiness ahead. And if I'm right, we'll know the meaning meant by whoever said, parting is such sweet sorrow. The layout of this book was actually chosen by his wife. All right, so I might have lied to you guys just a little when I said that all these books are from local writers. We actually have one gentleman, probably our furthest, is from Chicago. Leonard Lunt is a very accomplished writer. You can also find his stuff on Amazon. And my son chose one of his works, which is actually one of my favorites. So, as you might have noticed, that a lot of these people who have time to write are usually retired people. They tend to be older. So memory care is actually about dementia. You, us, future. I tell you, someone will remember us in the future. Sapphic fragment. She wishes she could tell him this, wishes this were true beyond doubt, and whatever form of end they meet, remember, call to mind, be mindful, or maybe, as she plays with words, remember. Some magic of assembling. Good luck with that, considering their us is a dime a dozen, commonplace affair, with all the trappings of secrecy and lies. Recall. Bring back to memory or recollect. Gather back as knowledge. Recover. Get again. Return to health. Regain. Uncover or discover, as some archaeologist, historian, or thief stumbling on the facts of their matter. Perhaps the future will fool her. Perhaps what they have will work. Perhaps by chance or accident. So as I mentioned, that is a whole book on dementia. But as one of the least things I could say about diseases of the mind is that use it or lose it. There has been some research that says the more active you keep your brain, especially in your older years, the less likely you are to get such diseases, or at least maybe mitigate the symptoms a little. What do you got, kid? All right. You know I wanted to read a little more of mine, all right?
I know.
I'm glad you're having fun with this.
Yes, I'm just handed.
All right, so this is Quiet Considerations by Rosemary Iwasa. Farewell. He asked my cousin to pick him up to drive him to the airport. His elder granddaughter and his youngest sister would meet him there for a shared trip to Europe. My cousin, the only daughter of his youngest sister, considered it a privilege to drive him. Though he could have gone with the others, he chose her. Before leaving the house where he lived these last 4 decades, he sat at the kitchen table and looked out the window. In a quiet and peaceful voice said, "It's been a good life." I wept when my cousin told me that because I knew my father was always saying goodbye.
You have time to read yours.
I know. Let me see what I got. Okay. Tell you what. So, as I mentioned, I don't really do much lyrical stuff, but there is a writer, an African-American woman of much talent, who was pretty popular in this, who called herself Mama Oladeji, or, as she called herself many times too, was Vicky Aqua. Pretty sure both were pen names. So she inspired a little word for me. It's called Save Us From Ourselves. God save the Queen, long live the King. Hail to the Chief, the Lord of all lies. I dredged the swamp for the bombs bursting in here. Oh, say can you see that justice is blind, that we are all colorblind. The white hot, when all you can see Is the white-hot dawn's early light that might means right? Always fight with the sun at your back and the darkness in your soul, but don't be blind. That's where the bullets whizzing past. The soldier's job is never done, never won. The traffic dodgers never run, never won with the multiplicity of our multi-ethnicity of a nation of fools that elects a derelict jester who taunts our puppet strings, strikes the chords of the lamentations of our hearts, heartless bastards. We are no longer whole, just a sinking hole, a pit of despair that stares back at us. Look up, look down, stay down, lock down, look out. Here it comes, as above, so below. The devil's in the details that are reduced to black and white. We are weapons of mass confusion, taking aim, hiding behind his wall. To build a nation of prisoners, too afraid to yell out our battle calls, to seek retribution for our disillusion, to clear up the noise pollution and fall on our knees, to take a knee, because we need. We are a world of truth benders, rule breakers, criminal instigators, unforeseen fornicators, ego masturbators, serial verbal defecators. We are nothing, no one, nowhere, just present at this moment in history. When we realized, we fucked up. Hindsight was blindsided, blinded by the light, speckled with red, white, and bruises, masks of shame, that we were all complicit in our own downfall. The fall of man, the blood is on our hands, because we did not stop when we knew we could, because we thought no meant yes, and that she didn't really mean it, and boys will be boys with their unruly lethal toys that cuts to what was right and left us divided. Pretty clear connotations on that one. It's a little dated too. What do we got? Oh, you keep sending me Josh, kid. This is not something that's hard to read.
Stop.
So Josh is a native of Ashtabula, which is far east for anyone that knows this area. This is the break wall. Meet me at the break wall where we can sit. Let your eyes sip upon the lake. Let our feet soak up all there is to take as our tongues get twisted. Try to manifest the nomadic thoughts wandering about our minds and express in depth those questions we have yet to define. The debate will be heated, but cool, with smiles, kisses, and time. As a seething conversation settles, I will see it in your eyes as if to say, you're much too young to be that damn cynical. And with a smile I'll retort, well, you're much too old to be that naive. And you'll skip a rock as if to say, promise me this, we don't grow up too fast. Youth, that's something you can never get back. And I lower my head, with regret behind my voice, I will say, I wish somebody would have told me this yesterday. Hold on, kid, that's one of mine, you know that, right? All right, got about 5 minutes left. There is an open mic. Anyone want to read anything else? You want to go? Come on up.
3 books, folks.
Yes, free. Everything here is free. Most of the front wall is what he's done.
My name is Marlene, and this is called Anchor. Decades of storms, weather person, finding an anchor seems impossible. I met you amidst the wild seas, standing firm on my own as I've always done, my armor thick and strapped tight. Learning to keep my guard up, I stepped into you, braced for a storm. Instead, I only felt the burden of my armor as I moved into your lucidity. My eyes searched for chaos, yet only reflected clarity. Slowly, my armor loosened and slipped down around me, unveiling my purest form, weathered by storms. Naked before you, your fingers trace my familiar scars, conversations unravel without a word. You are my anchor I have always sought after. All around us, these horrid storms are crashing. All around us, these dreadful storms are flashing. All around us, these horrid storms are crashing, yet between these storms feel obscure. Naked before you, your fingers trace my familiar scars. Conversations unravel without a word. You are my anchor I have always sought after.
Go for it. Oh, you want a few minutes? Yeah. Gotcha.
All right, folks, we're going to do about 2 more, and we'll call it. So, precursor to this is the Analog Kingdom. It is a guidebook to a work that I used to have here that is now called the Analog Oasis. It's a waterfall made out of old tube TVs. So, this was originally conceived as a performance piece. So the precursor is when you hear smash, pretend I'm smashing a TV with a sledgehammer. Old tube with all of the implosion as you do it. Picks up hammer, swings hammer. This one's for every woman who didn't love me, for every one that ever did. This one's for every person who had ever doubted and underestimated me. For those who thought my life should be a mirror of their journey, because theirs worked out so well for them. Smash. This one's for my father, mother, brothers, my brother's keeper, sins of the father, and inheritance of mother's malice. This one's for every time I had to prove I'm the good son. Smash. This one's for the bigots, the racists, hate-spewing monsters, for the motherfucking morons. This one's for those who assume I'm gay. Is that supposed to matter? Smash. This one's for those who have passed their petty judgments based on the surface of my face or my visible scars or my hidden ones. This one's for those who have called me freak, for those who judge me on who I was, not who I am. Smash. This one's for those who lack the ability to see in colors and shades. Locked in their boring black and white senseless absolutes, there aren't just gray areas, there are tints of every shade we are capable of perceiving. This one's for the little people. Smash. This one's for those who patronize my intelligence, but yet are so easily fooled into acceptance with a player of black plastic frames. This one's for irony. Smash. This one's for those who have let me down, disappointed me, failed to live to their potential. This one's for everyone. Smash. This one's for me, for not living up to my own potential. This one's for who I am. Smash. And this one, these tears, this one's for my son. All right, Elvis, come on up and you can close us out, my friend. That book is also available for free over there.
Yes. Yes, every book.
Still need a second?
Can I go?
You want to go?
Just a quick one?
Yes, by all means. And we might miss you. How much are we cutting into someone else? How much are we cutting into someone else?
I haven't seen anybody else come up here.
Okay, good.
It's been pretty quiet.
All right, this is a little poem that I have in my head.
From here to yeah,
Like the wise men said one time, you got to emancipate your mind. And when you are free from the box, you got to build your tower from the base, from the rock that comes from the earth. She's screaming, she loves you. Can you swim in her vibe? Can you swim in her vibe? And if you can't, she gonna take you out. Cause she know all them things that you worry about, like your looks and your money and your greed. Turning on your face to the hand that you feed, cause you can't recognize that one human need, and that's love, 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 love. And if you want your pretty planet to stay green on the scene, then you gotta wake up. You know what I mean? Pay attention to the stuff that you purchase. Do you really need that thing? Does it make you feel righteous? If not, then put it back down. Take a good look around. Yeah.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and close it out with something. My son's been playing roulette. He just randomly picking something for me to read from. So this is by my friend Josh Roming. I've mentioned him a few times. He started this whole group with me. He's a hardcore poet nerd. So he's got his bona fides, I don't. So he wrote this whole book about someone divining a fortune, like you'd be reading tarot cards, with playing cards. And each poem is about one of the face cards. So let me go ahead and open up to the Joker. There must be some way out of here. You will ponder this with your head bowed, eyes closed, and hands folded in the shape of a prayer. As the preacher woman drones on and on about damnation, you will be reminded of stargazing as a kid and hoping that one day you'd grow up to be a space cowboy. When you imagined yourself as an adult, you were riding a rocket ship like a noble steed, galloping across the night sky, wrangling all the stars into their own constellations. You knew, even then, this was the genre of fantasy, that some things are impossible, like bringing the stars together or predicting the future. You know that the stars are billions of light years away from us and each other. You know that the future isn't fixed or within our reach, but still you also know that it feels good to make it believe. But in that house, it won't feel like this. It won't feel good. You'll be sick with worry that someone will see right through you. See the atheist hiding under the skin of a believer. Find the wolf in the sheep's clothing and chase you out with torches and pitchforks. You'll wonder what about being a wolf makes you inherently bad. And if there is a God, and they made your brain wrong somehow, why? If change is even possible, how? No matter how many times you beg for salvation, you will feel nothing. No revolution, no revelation, no love from some indescribable higher power, no life-changing affirmation, time and time again. Just you, alone in your head. Just you, like always before and always after. You will think sometimes that if there is a God, he or she might be akin to a lunatic Batman villain, laughing at this world in all of its relentless confusion and heartbreak, giving itself no relief, taking itself so serious that there must be some way out of here. An illuminated exit sign will offer it frequently, but you will be too kind to leave all these sheep alone under the eye of a crooked shepherd, without a wolf around to protect them. And then it continues, this is what lies behind you. She flips the card to the right. So every one of these is part of a narrative about the same person. Thank you. I've been Ryan Kinney. I run a writing group called Beautiful Blasphemy. We publish writers for free. So if that's you, grab a card, contact us. And feel free to take any of our free books before we pack them up in the next few minutes. Thank you.